NBA trade deadline is gone, but we didn't even realize you was here. So, like I said, or saying, either way, hey, look. So I'm doing some winners of the deadline, and I think there's a fair, I think players won more here than teams did, and just to rattle off a couple people, I was like P.J. Washington, uh, Doug McDermott. I was like Xavier Tillman. I want to say those three first in this separate category because they all went from bottom team. The Doug McDermott from the Spurs to the Pacers. So now he gets to play on a playoff team. He hadn't really been able to play and it sucked because I actually think that he's a decent he's a pretty good shooter or whatever. I thought he was going to really be like a lot better coming out of college, but it's another story for another day. But so I'm like, he gets to showcase himself. He's an older guy. He gets to play on a playoff team. He gets to be around other people. So he has to have a chance to contribute. Xavier Tillman, a guy that I was like the Grizzlies until like this year, basically been in the playoffs, and he sort of had a chance to play here and there. He'll probably get a little bit more run with the Celtics, but now he gets to be on the actual team as well. P.J. Washington, he was playing for the Scrub Hornets, and while sometimes he was up and down, I was like, he gets to go to the Mavs. I was like, that had a chance at the playoffs, get to play with some incredible players with Irvin and Luka, get to contribute in a meaningful way, and doesn't get to be looked at the same way he does also with the Hornets. Like, he gets to be a little more free, I guess. It's not that glaring that if he doesn't come through because you got such dynamic scores. So that's why I say them, because they went from sorry teams to some team with some chance. I was like, I want to say Buddy Hield because at least he gets to stay status quo. 76ers are not going to drop far out of the playoffs to be, so he still gets to stay. Whether he was with the Pacers or 76ers, he still gets to stay in the playoffs. Pat Bev, same thing. He basically went from the Sixers to the Bucks. It's a sort of lateral move to me. It's sort of a weird one to me, but hey, he does it. He still gets to be impactful. He's not just on some like sorry team or something like that, or just got traded to be traded, where he gets to still be himself with some meaningfulness behind it. And I want to say Klay Thompson. I don't think that he was going to get traded, but he didn't get traded. He got to at least stay there. He get to stay with his crew, his squad. He get to sort of try to see if he can figure this out, and then on off seasons, see how that goes money wise and that whole thing. But he gets to stay here. Whereas if he would have been traded, that's it. He can't come back. I was like, he basically starting another career or another journey, that type of thing. So he gets at least still be able to dictate his future and figure that out. So that's why I put him in. So as far as the team, obviously, I was like, I did a video earlier. I was like, people gonna be talking about it. The Knicks. The Knicks won in this. I was like, they put themselves to get to like the second spot. The Cavs are there right now, but they have a chance to get to that second spot and basically be a real threat in the East that's pretty much wide open after the Celtics. I was like, they got pieces that I don't think really hinders the roster. It really improves it and gives them more options in the playoffs, what I think you need when it's matchups. I was like, they got pretty much two extra guys with Burks and Bogdanovich that can do different things within the offense that won't really disturb it, but they also got two people that can also get buckets as well, which Brunson is getting doubled, or Randall's not all the way there, or you got the more options. You're never bad to have more options. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to say I'm gonna give it to the Hornets just because they finally just did moves in order to just start being bad to be good. Like, instead of this middling thing where it's like you trying to bring in people or trying to stay a little bit competitive with the Plumlees or the Gordon Haywards, and it's like no, just go ahead and we're just gonna rip it bare to basically we got nothing but rookies or young people and it's just gonna start. I thought that I was like that's what's needed to be. That's what a lot of other teams have done. That basically like OKC, they pretty much just had to scrap it and just start over. That's what they're doing, and I was like, they got pretty much some of the building blocks there to try to see where it goes. The Suns, um, for a team that really didn't give up anything, don't have anything, they got really good pickups with Royce O'Neal and David Roddy. Royce O'Neal, a guy that I was like, even though he's been here, he's been playing in the NBA pretty long time. I was like, think he's a good, he can facilitate. I'm not. I was like I feel like he does good. He's not like a point four per se, but I was like I feel like he's good at facilitating that in enough ways of ball movement, that kind of thing. Or you get in a pinch, he can bring the ball up. That where they all they got so many other creators that it's like he can bring the ball up and do stuff. I was like he very versatile of defending. I was like he could guard a good chunk of like the perimeter players. I was like good shooter. I was like not going doesn't need the ball at all, but it's going to contribute in a lot of ways. And David Roddy sort of the same thing. I was like I felt like he really was just like bloated Dylan Brooks. But yeah, no, I was like I seen him a little bit last year and then a little bit this year. I was like he's a big body. I'm not going to be over here like he's some defensive stopper, but he's a big body. You can throw him out there. I was like, shoot the occasional three. I was like, you get another dude that's been playing the playoffs. Good rotation piece. I was like, I'll have to say like full knowledge of him like that because I ain't seen him like I've seen O'Neal do stuff at times. But I do know that I'm like he cracks the rotation. I was like he's a good player, especially for what the Suns sort of need and what they're going to do. Mavs, I talked about them already, but getting Gafford, I was like, and getting PJ Washington, I was like, I think that helps them because I was like, Grant Williams was inconsistent. Uh, I was like, you could always use another big man because you're going against all these big men in the West. So, like, once Lively come back, and then you got Gafford, you got two dudes who could play in there. You got different styles with them, too, kind of like, Gofford's more of an offensive guy than Lively, but you're going to still get sort of the same like length and you know being just a big ass man. He's bigger than me than Lively. And PJ, I was like 3-point shooting. I was like defense is pretty good. I was like offense just got to be consistent pretty much. I want to say the Raptors just because I felt like they fill out the roster. I was like, I don't know what they're trying to do, but they made moves, and I just feel like that's encouraging for the last couple of years where they haven't. So I at least feel like they're at least trying to do something that goes in the right direction of putting pieces together around Barnes and Barrett and Quickly, and seeing how that sort of goes. While also they traded Schroeder, so they got something out of it. They're doing something. We just don't fully know. But I was like, I'll give them a win just because it's like, at least you're not doing the same stuff you've been doing the last couple of years. And last is basically anybody who was able to get out of the Pistons roster. Because why would you want to stay there? I think that's the biggest winner. You don't have to stay with that amount of losing. And I guess the people that was traded in order to be able to go onto the buyout market. I think that's good. You don't you got traded, but you don't have to stay there. Like Spencer Dinwiddie, he can actually help out a squad instead of he just stayed up with the Raptors. So I'm like, something like that. I was like, yes, there've been some other ones. I'm like, they got waived, and I was like, I don't know what they're going like. Like Robin Lopez got traded and go get waived, but I'm like, he's not gonna go somewhere where he's gonna play minutes to me. So I was like, so is this? I was like, so the ones that I was like, but like Kyle Lowry, like he's going to be able to be, on the buyout market and choose his place to go instead of being traded somewhere and he's just stuck there. So that's why I said I was like, that's the one. Anyway, those are some of the winners I was like I think of. Like I said, I was like, wasn't crazy deadline or nothing like that. But I still think there was moves that was probably more good for the players than it was necessarily for the teams trying to jockey up spot. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna see how all these work out. But until then, I'm out.